What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Dana White responds to UFC backlash. UFC President Dana White recently found himself on the receiving end of some criticism after it was announced that the UFC had signed a deal to make Bud Light the official beer of the UFC. Of course, for White and the UFC, the deal is an incredibly lucrative one, with reports indicating that the promotion is set to make $105 million per year on the deal. During a recent episode of Bussin' with the Boys, the UFC CEO spoke about the backlash he received, while defending his support of Anheuser-Busch.
65,000 Americans are employed by Anheuser-Busch. 65,000 Americans, and a lot of them are vets. That alone should be enough reason for you to not try to put a bullet in Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch, number one. Number two, they spend almost $1 billion a year with U.S. farmers, okay? That should be a fucking reason to do it. All the stuff that they do for first responders and vets and $44 million spent over the last however many years for their families. Every time there's a natural disaster in America, they shut down the plant and turn it into a bottled water facility. And they ship out, and they've done something crazy like 100 million bottles.
As White also explained, he's at the stage of his career and his life where he can put people over money. Those comments also generated quite a bit of criticism for the UFC CEO on social media, of course, with MMA community members pushing back against the statement. Next up, let's take a look at Conor McGregor banned on X. Former two-division UFC champion Conor McGregor has been banned on the platform formerly known as Twitter after being hit with a DMCA copyright strike. The Irish star took to Instagram along with a screenshot showing his account being locked. Although he's been locked out of his account, the former champ will be able to regain access after reviewing the site's copyright policy to ensure his compliance in the future. The situation appears to stem from a clip McGregor posted on a platform where he was singing his own iteration of Locked Up by Akon. Along with the photo on his story, McGregor wrote, "Akon not happy, ha ha ha," indicating that the R&B star or his team were quick to take note of McGregor's use of the song and file a complaint. So far, Akon has yet to respond to the situation. In the case of McGregor, the Irish star has continued to promote his forced Irish stout on his Instagram story in the wake of the post regarding his account being banned. Next up, let's take a look at Jiri Prochazka calls out Khamzat Chimaev. Jiri Prochazka and Khamzat Chimaev traded some verbal jabs prior to UFC 295, with both men offering conflicting accounts of a training session that took place several years ago. The back and forth opened the door to a potential fight in the octagon. However, there's one major obstacle standing in the way: the fact that Chimaev fights at 185 pounds and Prochazka competes at 205. After Prochazka's recent loss to Alex Pereira at UFC 295, Chimaev injected himself into the situation, tagging Dana White in a post where he urged the UFC president to let he and Pereira fight inside the octagon. That call-out sparked quite a bit of criticism among the MMA community, with many fans calling for Chimaev to remain active in his own division before entertaining the idea of moving up. Now, however, Prochazka has taken to social media, not only reigniting the feud between he and Chimaev, but also opening the door for the undefeated contender to make the jump up to 205 pounds. As he wrote on social media in response to Chimaev's call-out of Pereira, "I would like to welcome you to the light heavyweight division." Based on Chimaev's social media activity, it doesn't appear that he has responded to the call-out. After his recent win over Kamaru Usman, it was announced that Chimaev had suffered a hand injury that will keep him out of training for several more weeks. When he returns, the expectation is that he will fight the winner of the upcoming Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis clash. Now, let's shift gears and take a look at Aljamain Sterling receives warning. Former bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling recently revealed that he had been offered 3 fights, one of which being a featherweight clash against Calvin Kattar. Shortly after that, Sterling took to social media, where he responded to a fan question by stating that he was looking to return to the octagon in March. Included in that tweet, Sterling indicated that he was looking for a fight with Max Holloway. The way longtime referee Big John McCarthy sees things, Sterling may be in over his head in a potential matchup against the former featherweight kingpin. He spoke on a recent episode of his Weigh In podcast alongside Josh Thompson.
If there's one area that you're going to look at that Aljo's weaker in, it would be his stand-up. And if there's one area that Max Holloway has proven time and time again, his stand-up is good, and now his wrestling is just over time. You know, a lot of people have tried to take Max Holloway down now. Earlier in his career, yeah, they got him down. The Dustin Poiriers, you know, and even Conor McGregor got him down. But that's not happening anymore.
There's been quite a bit of speculation surrounding Holloway's next fight. Should Ilia Topuria get the job done against Alexander Volkanovski in the new year, Holloway is hopeful that he can get a crack at the belt. At the same time, He's also looked to secure a fight with the BMF, Justin Gaethje, for next year as well. While Ali Abdelaziz recently teased a clash between Holloway and Gaethje, so far, nothing has come to fruition. Next, let's take a look at UFC fight updates. Heading into an off weekend, fans have been anxiously awaiting the return of UFC action on December 2nd when the Octagon hits Austin, Texas for UFC Fight Night Dariush vs. Sarukian. Unfortunately for fans, that card will no longer include a 5-round co-main event clash between Dan the Hangman Hooker and Bobby Green. According to a report from the New Zealand Herald, Hooker has been forced out of the fight due to an arm injury. While details have remained scarce, reports have indicated that the UFC is looking to find Green a replacement opponent on short notice. In addition, this week has also seen 2 new fights added to UFC 298 on February 17th. The card, which will be headlined by a featherweight title fight between Alexander Volkanovski and Ilia Topuria, will now also include a heavyweight fight between Marcos Rogerio de Lima and Justin Tafa, as well as a light heavyweight clash between Brenson Ribeiro and Zhang Mingyang, which had been previously scheduled for December 9th. De Lima will be entering this fight with Tafa looking to bounce back from a first-round loss to Derek Lewis this summer, while Tafa will be looking to make it 2 straight after a win over Austin Lane back in August. In the light heavyweight division, Brenson Ribeiro and Zhang Mingyang will both be entering their rescheduled booking, eager to make their successful UFC debuts after a road to UFC win for Mingyang and a Dana White's Contender Series win for Ribeiro. Next, let's take a look at MMA Community Roasts UFC Fighter for Callout. While Joaquin Buckley may be known for his highlight reel knockouts, he recently found himself on the receiving end of a number of jokes from the MMA community after taking aim at Conor McGregor on social media. Amid reports of McGregor trying to return to the Octagon before next summer, Buckley called out the Irish star on social media, writing, "Man, I'm already knowing the reason Conor McGregor not coming back. He knows he'd get bodied, and he'll no longer be the face of combat sports. Money Mac, get your money, man, but stop pretending like you coming back getting these folks' hopes up." The situation didn't go over well with members of the MMA community, many of whom were quick to take aim at Buckley. As one fan wrote, "You're not getting the McGregor fight if that was your goal with this tweet." Another was quick to weigh in, writing, "That's the most UFC career mode tweet ever. So cheesy, man." Others took aim at Buckley directly, firing off harsh insults, with one fan writing, "You're one bad fight away from a PFL contract, bud." And another writing, "Come on, brah, making yourself look bad." Another laughed off Buckley's callout, writing, "All you do is chase clout. You're like these IG models." While McGregor has yet to address the situation, as previously stated, the Irish star is working to get his account reinstated. Once he does, it'll be interesting to see if he responds with one of his signature voice memos. Next, let's take a look at Alex Pereira will beat Jamahal Hill to defend title. After his recent victory over Jiri Prochazka, light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira finds himself in a position to compete against Jamahal Hill when the former light heavyweight champ is ready to return to the Octagon following his Achilles tear over the summer. With the fight largely expected to take place on the feet, the MMA community has remained divided when it comes to predictions. During a recent interview with James Lynch, former light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz explained why he believes Pereira will get the job done.
We'll see how he's gonna feel after the injury, because sometimes it's hard to coming back, in great shape. You still got something in your head, on the back of your head, that you have surgery and you coming back. You don't know how you're gonna feel. So I don't know. In this moment, I will put my mind on Pereira.
Blachowicz, of course, is eager to return to the win column when he faces Alexander Rakic at UFC 297. After a narrow loss to Alex Pereira, the former champ has made it clear that he has his sights set on securing a rematch with the champ and reclaiming the 205-pound title. Should he and Pereira both win their next fights, the pair could find themselves in a position to run things back with the stakes at an all-time high. Dana White has officially removed all of the pelotons from UFC PI after he told Theo Vaughn that he would on a podcast last week. Here's what Dana had to say.
So people are hitting me up asking me if I really got rid of the pelotons. But I tell you, only the assault bikes would be here. Pelotons are gone.
A few moments later.
Spikes? Not like the whole
No, these are Echelon. Here we go, Theo.
Nice.
We got the Echelon bikes in now. Craig is happy again.
I can still stay in shape.
That's right.
Look at this thing. These are beautiful. I mean, come on. Better screen, better audio.
See? Who needs Peloton?
Let's go.
Colby Covington sends a warning to Leon Edwards ahead of their fight at UFC 296. Here's what Colby had to say. He had the right matchups at the right time to get to that point in his career. He fought a lightweight washout at Nate Diaz and sat out almost 2 years to get his title shot. I don't think he warranted getting a title shot after beating that guy. He just cried, "I deserve this, I deserve that," instead of just going out there and working for it or earning it like I did. I had to earn it the hard way. No one gave me this spot to fight for the undisputed title. I had to earn it. I had to go the unconventional way because the straight ahead way wasn't available. He didn't earn it the hard way like I did. And December 16th, he's going to find out that he's going to get broken by the American dream. Top comments. Imagine owning 2 MMA companies with 2 heavyweight divisions and telling reporters the fight to make is Francis versus Wilder. 2025 Dana. Conor is really itching for a fight. He will be ready in 6 to 8 months. Corey Sandhagen versus Sean O'Malley. We need this fight. Let's watch Conor get beat again, everybody. Who really wants to see Dylan after he barely fought in MMA and didn't even try in boxing? Make sure to leave a comment and you might get featured in our next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss any MMA news. Check out our video from yesterday if you missed it. See you tomorrow.